everyone. My name is Danae, and welcome to my platform, to my YouTube channel. Today, we do have a podcast episode called Healing Conversations, where confidence is built when healing begins. And y'all, this is my very first episode of this podcast series. So make sure that you all stay tuned to hear more, because y'all, we're going to be talking about real life situations. We're going to be talking about healing. And I know that a lot of us um, try to kind of stay busy so we can avoid healing, which is what this title is today. And today's title is Choosing Healing Over Distractions. Y'all, today we're going to be talking about how to overcome that, okay? Because healing can hurt. Healing can hurt. It feels uncomfortable. It feels uneasy. It feels like new to us. It feels new to heal from something after many years, many months, many days of burying it beneath the soil. But little do we know, it's still not going nowhere. When you sweep the dirt beneath the dirt is still there. It's just under the rug, right? So eventually we're gonna have to clean it up. And so in this podcast series, we're gonna be cleaning up that mess. We're gonna be cleaning up that trauma, that rejection, the overthinking. We're gonna be cleaning all that dysfunction up, y'all, okay? And so let me know where you guys are coming in from before we begin. I'm actually gonna give y'all a couple of moments to come in before I really start. But that's just to give y'all an idea on what it is that we're gonna be talking about today, okay? And so, yeah, y'all. And for those of y'all that watch me and stuff, I kind of been I kind of stopped doing podcast series for a little bit because the Lord was drawing me into something else. But now the Lord is calling me back into doing conversations, podcast series. And so, y'all, I'm super excited to just share the wisdom that I have with you guys, to share the things that I had to overcome. And I know that many of you guys that are connected to my channel, y'all can resonate with the things that I've done been through before, okay? I am the voice for the rejected. And so many of you guys that do watch me, you have experienced rejection before. You've experienced being overlooked. You are somebody that is different, and people misunderstand you. And so, what happens when people don't understand something? They're rejected, right? So, you have been a byproduct of rejection. And that doesn't mean that that you have to be all these negative things as a byproduct of rejection. No, it just means that you're somebody that had to battle with rejection, and it made you to become the person that you are today, you guys, okay? And there should be no shame in your game, because there's no shame in mine, okay? We all been rejected before. We done been there. We done heard all the nasty, negative words that was said about us because they reject us. So it's no shame in the game, okay? It's no shame in the game. I mean, you really have to embrace the parts of yourself that you don't want to embrace. And we gonna dive a little more deeper into that today, okay? But y'all, let me know where you guys are coming in from. Let me know what state, what country, what area that you guys are tuning in from, okay? I'm gonna give y'all 2 more minutes before I begin. I was actually I was thinking about posting a prophetic word yesterday, but the Lord didn't release me to. But I got some things coming for y'all this week, okay? Um God is actually shifting my platform, my channel, to creating more different content, okay? So I know that many of you guys are used to my prophetic words, but I want to start posting more podcast series and just real conversations, as well as lifestyle content. You know what I'm saying? All in one channel, okay? But we working our way up there, y'all, okay? It'd be a lot because y'all know, like, I am a full-time college student. I go to work. I do content creating, so it'd be a lot for me. So right now, y'all are just receiving what y'all receive, okay? But I know you guys love my content. Y'all are very supportive of me and the things that the Lord calls me to do with the endeavors. Okay. And so, all right, y'all. So we're gonna start, okay? So, hi, welcome, welcome, welcome. So you guys, so today's title is choosing healing over distractions. So one thing that I noticed that me looking back at my own actions, um, because y'all know, like, I can only speak on the things that I done went through before. So as I'm speaking in this perspective, I know it can hit home with many of you guys, okay? So I remember before I went on this journey with the Lord, right? I had been dealt with cards of rejection in my household. Okay. So I was the youngest one in my family. Okay. I knew I was different. I am transgender, and my other siblings are anywhere between 8 to 10 years apart from me. And I was the only one in the household for many years because my siblings moved out, right? And so with me being the youngest one, me being different, my mom, she really like she she wanted me to become the perfect child. She wanted me to be this picture perfect child for her. And because she wanted me to become this picture perfect person, it made me feel like I had to suppress who I really was and what it is that I want to do with my life. Okay. And so when I was younger, I grew up and I was always alone. I would lock myself inside my room. I was always a gaming girl. I would always be inside my room. I'd be away from my family. I wouldn't really like to talk that much. I'd be in and out my room, of course. But a lot of the times I was inside my room, right? Because I felt like I was, I couldn't, I couldn't breathe comfortably in the presence of my family. Okay, now I know that this is kind of off topic, but you will see where it is I'm trying to get with this story. Okay, and so, with me being alone, right? The reason why I was alone, it was because I felt rejected. I felt like my family didn't understand me. I didn't really understand myself. I was battling with gender dysphoria. I was someone that um, was really hurt, and I could not put a language to why I felt the way that I felt, why I'm so alone, why do I feel like they don't understand me, right? And so this led me to looking for love and connections and peace and comfortability in other places. And some of these places involve me going to work, right? I would find myself texting counterfeits, fornicating with them, going to work all the time, always outside the house. I would never ever be in the house, y'all. Like, one thing about Danae was when I was younger, I was never in the house. I was never in the house for a long period of time because I felt like I needed to get out the house. I didn't feel comfortable being inside my house, and so all these things was distractions. Okay, all these things was distractions. At the time, I was younger, so I didn't really know nothing much about healing or knowing the truth and how to like put these pieces together until now. Like, I'm at the age that I'm able to think about the actions that I have taken in my life and where it has gotten me and where I'm at today and how I've overcame the struggles that I had overcame. And so, um, Yeah, as I was saying, y'all, like as I was growing up from middle school all the way into high school, I wasn't accepted in my household. I felt like every time I would like talk, my opinion would not be considered, not considerated, y'all. It would not be considered. And I just didn't feel like my voice really mattered. Now I was someone that was very opinionated. I always spoke the truth and how it is that I felt, and they kind of like made me my family kind of made me feel invalidated with the words that I had to say. I hope I'm saying that right. Like I didn't feel accepted. Like my Lord help me. I did not feel accepted. And I felt like the things that I had to say was the truth. I was speaking on things that were true, but they were making it seem like I was the problem, or I'm talking too much, or it's not what it looks like. It's not all these things. Like they were trying to manipulate me to think that I'm going crazy in here. Right. So after so many times I'm being rejected, being played dumb, being manipulated, you begin to kind of really think like, am I really going crazy? Is it just me? Maybe I should just stay quiet. Maybe I should just shrink. Maybe I should just perform. And that event eventually turned into my norm. Right. That eventually turned into my norm. But little did I know, because of the trauma that I had faced in my childhood, it began like the more I tried to perform and to mask myself to become this person that held a peace, that didn't have nothing to say, that was really just there. For one, I noticed that I would question myself. I would ask myself, am I going crazy? Am I understanding something wrong? Am I tripping? Like, I think that what I think is actually true, but my family's telling me I'm just overthinking. So I suppress those emotions. I don't voice how it is that I feel, and so now me performing to be this picture perfect person to fit inside this room of my family. When you begin to perform in that type of way with your family, how you do one thing is how you do all things, right? So I began to move how I would move with my family, with my friends. But the thing was, my trauma would arise in ways of me getting irritated, on me throwing a fit, on me quitting, on me like it's trauma can come up out of you in so many ways, you guys. Okay? And I give myself a lot of grace, and so should you. Okay? Because if you're watching this video today, you're going to receive something to take away that's going to heal the deepest parts of you. You may not be transgender, experiencing gender dysphoria, but you are someone that can relate to how it is that I feel. You've been hurt, you've been traumatized, you've been put down, and you were kind of forced to perform. Let me down in the comments right now if you guys can relate to that you can relate to feeling like you have performed before. That you had to perform to maintain peace, to maintain your relationships, to um to hold your place in that relationship, in that environment, in that group of people. Because I know y'all, like, I had to do that so many times. I really did. But the more that I would perform and people please and do all these things was the more that I'll be eating my own self alive. Because I knew, like, this is really not me. Like, for instance, I'm going to tell y'all a little story of mine that I really don't feel comfortable talking about. But I'm going to talk about it with y'all, okay? I feel like this whole podcast series is a healing experience for both me and y'all. So please, I'm not perfect, okay? I'm just trying to be obedient because I know someone out there could really use what it is I have to say. So I was friends with someone, right? And we were really, really close. And when I would mess up or do something that I kind of felt bad about, I would over explain myself. I'll be like, look, I didn't mean to do this. Like I did this because of X, Y, and Z, da 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 da. And they're acting like it's okay. But me responding in a way of over explaining myself is a trauma response. And I had to learn that. So I'm over explaining myself. And then here I come over here trying to make things right by buying them stuff, by doing acts of service to right my wrongs. But the whole time, the other person really was using me. They didn't really like it wasn't a real friendship, y'all, okay? And I had to realize this later on that over explaining yourself and trying to make it's nothing wrong with making things right. But where where does making things right come out of in your heart? Are you making things right because you have to like you should want to right your wrongs? Or are you trying to perform? You're trying to um do some sort of acts of service out of a place to maintain a relationship. That's the best way I can really put it, y'all. Okay? And so it's so important, you guys, that we know how to heal. It's so important that we know that we can't keep living a life of distractions. Okay? We just can't. We can't. Now, distractions, like I said, could look like you making counterfeit relationships, going to work all the time. It looks like occupying your time to where you're not really getting a chance to sit still with yourself and acknowledge what's going on. Many of the times, I know me personally, I'm a very busy person, so this is not to make a excuse. But I do notice that I unintentionally bury my trauma, right? So something bad will happen, and then I move on the next day acting like it is okay. It's okay. Months and weeks and years go by, and God's just like healing me, right? Then when the one day comes, He heals me with a specific part of my life, and I'm just like, I didn't even realize I was even hurt in that place. I didn't even realize that was even there. Like, honestly, y'all. And I will say this too, like, when you are healing, the best way to heal is through Jesus Christ. Okay? And the reason why I say that is because a lot of the times you are unaware of your own actions. You're unaware of the cycles that you are a part of. You're unaware of certain things that do play a part in your life that makes you the way that you are. And so when you begin to draw closer to the Lord, because that's what I did. Okay, that's what I did, and I'm only gonna talk about the things that I done been through and how I've overcame trauma, rejection, and all these things in my life. It was because of Jesus Christ, right? And the more that you obey the Lord and you move where it is that He's telling you to move, He will begin to heal the deepest parts of yourself because He cares about your healing. Okay, He really does. Just as much as He cares about you moving into purpose, He cares about healing you while you're moving into purpose. And so that's just a food for thought, you guys, okay? Because you cannot heal alone. Trust me, it hurts. It Healing is not the most joyful, jolly, peaceful experience. It requires you to look back at yourself, to look on the inwards, and notice the deepest parts of yourself that is hurt. And then you have to reflect and talk about it and acknowledge it and then fix it. And it took me a very long time to actually fix my actions. Okay? Sometimes it just takes for you to get ready to lose a relationship, to click inside your mind like I need to get it together. That's when self-sabotage comes in. Y'all, I cannot tell y'all this enough. I was so traumatized in my childhood that I carried it into my relationship with my man now. And so I'm over here acting out of a trauma response, and he's telling me about it, and I'm trying to fix it, but it's really not working. Y'all, at heart, I don't want to say I'm hard headed, but honestly, I can be very hard headed. Sometimes things for me doesn't process immediately, but it takes repetitive times. I have to keep bumping my head for me to learn my lesson at times. And so it's so important to heal, which is why I said that healing is a intricate part of becoming confident in who you are. Because when you can acknowledge the things that you done did wrong in the past, when you can acknowledge the guilt that you could possibly have, how you made a mistake and you feel bad and you forgive yourself, that's a part of the healing process. Forgiving yourself. You have to forgive yourself so that it doesn't eat you up on the inside, you guys, okay? Worrying, feeling shameful, feeling guilty is not gonna make up for the lost times. It's not gonna make you feel no better. Matter of fact, it will make you feel worse. And so we have to reflect, know how to reflect, point it out, and then move forward and correct it, you guys. Because what happens is, if you do not heal now, if you do not heal the hurt inside your heart, you'll begin to pour it out into your kids. And then now that's going to be called a generational curse, a generational cycle. And how you do one thing is how you do all things, okay? And so, um, something that I really want you guys to know is that as humans, we desire three things in life, which is provision, protection, and acceptance. I'm going to say it again. Provision, protection, and acceptance. And when one of those three is tampered with, it messes with your stability. Okay? And so provision could look like a source of income. It could look like someone pouring into to you, making you feel loved, making you feel valued, making you feel secure, stable. Protection, knowing that you are protected. Okay? That nothing's gonna harm you. And then acceptance. You're not being rejected, but you're being accepted. And so, why do I mention these three things? The reason why I mention these three things is because these play a part in your healing process to achieving confidence. Okay? And so, let me break this down for you. Okay? When you feel hurt, broken, you begin to move that way. You begin to move in survival mode. You begin to move in a way as if you're walking on eggshells, right? And that's because you have a lack of protection, a lack of acceptance, and a lack of provision. I hope what I'm saying is really, because the only way, the complete opposite of healing is confidence, is being whole, is having provision, protection, and acceptance. But you need these things in life to feel confident, to feel stable, to feel loved, to feel happy. Okay? And of course, I'm going to always lead everything back to Christ. You can only truly find these things in Jesus Christ. Okay? And so, moving on, you guys. If y'all see me looking down, it's because I'm actually looking at my computer. Okay? So, yes, you guys, it's just very important to heal. Instead of avoiding it, confront it, and it it really helps you guys that when the problem arises right then and there, check that emotion, check the problem, check it right then and there, so it does not carry with you into the next day. Because if y'all are anything like me, or what I used to do, when someone would hurt my feelings, I would carry that thing to bed. Okay? I would carry that thing to bed and cry about it and ponder on it and then cut myself off from the world or cut myself off from them because hurt people hurt people. Because I'm hurt, so let me just cut everybody off. One person do you wrong, now you think that everybody is gonna do you wrong. But one thing I will say is that, like I said before, when the problem arises, check it at the moment, check it at the entrance, check it at the door. Okay? We need to correct the problem at the door, address the problem, talk about it. You don't have to be problematic about it, just talk about it. It's not about what you say, it's about how you say it. So we have to know how to talk to people, address the problem with respect for one another. Because if ultimately, if you don't address the problem, you're going to be holding onto it, and you're going to be going to sleep with it, thinking about the same issue tomorrow or next week or next month, and then now you're moving like you're hurt with the other person. Don't nobody got time to hold on to unforgiveness, you guys. Unforgiveness is gonna be something that drains you from the inside out. It's gonna slow you down. It's gonna hold back your blessings, and it's just not gonna be good for you. It's like poison. It's gonna be something that starts real small and spread throughout the body. Okay, so we have to learn to forgive, and when you avoid healing by distractions, for an example, it looks like when you're driving your car and y'all know how like every once in a while your car needs maintenance, right? And the maintenance light turns on. It looks like the maintenance light is turning on and you know it's on, you know it's something wrong with the car, but you still decide to drive the car knowing that there's a problem with it. And you go on months and weeks and days with it, and it's no problem right now. But there's going to be a day that comes where if you don't get it fixed, it's going to spread to a bigger issue. And then now it's going to be more costly for you to repair that damage. That is the same exact thing when it comes to the healing process when you choose distractions over healing. You're gonna pay a bigger price when you choose to run away from the healing. When you don't heal, do you guys know that when you hold on to bitterness, unforgiveness, offense, um, and choosing not to heal, it actually can lead to deeper health problems, mental problems, blood problems, physical problems. It's so many things that comes with a hardened heart. And you don't want to have a hardened heart. It's so important that we heal, you guys, okay? It's gonna hurt, but God just needs you to just take a step by step, and it's gonna get uncomfortable, but that's how you know that you're growing. You have to become uncomfortable to grow. When you grow, you're stretching. You're literally growing upwards, right? So it gets uncomfortable, but the outcome of it is gonna be so healed, so whole, so pure. And when you look back at yourself, you're gonna be like, dang, I've overcame X, Y, and Z, and look where I am today. Healing is so important, you guys. And I cannot stress that enough because there's so many people out there that choose not to heal. They choose to run away. They choose to ignore the problem. But the time will come when the problem will arise again, and it's going to be more costly because you never dealt with that issue. You can't bury the dirt, you guys. The dirt is still there. It may be masked, it may be disguised, it may be beneath the carpet, but that does not mean it's no longer there. And honestly, the reason why that there's even such thing as trauma is because that's God wanting us to lean unto Him. That's how He keeps us relying on Him. That's how He keeps us humble. Because if we're always healed, that we're so pure, so holy, we don't need God. We would not need God. We would not need Jesus Christ to be our Savior, our deliverer. He sacrificed for us on the cross. So you guys, I don't know who's out there that needs to hear this, but He's calling you back to Him. He's calling you back to Him. He is the only one. Like it doesn't matter. Well, I'm not gonna say it does not matter, but I can only say but so much. I can plant the seeds in your heart, in your ears that goes to your heart. A seed in your heart. It's the Lord that allows that seed to produce in your life. But how is faith obtained? Through His word, through His vessels. So you guys, I really hope that this could help somebody today. I really hope that this could change your perspective when it comes to healing. It could change your perspective when it comes to just choosing healing over distractions, y'all. Because you're going to have to face it one day or another. Okay? Don't bury the problem, face the problem. Don't ignore the problem because it's going to get worse. Fix the problem. Become the answered prayer that you want to be. Nobody can change you but you. If you don't like something, fix it. If you don't like what your mom did, what your dad did, why do it? If you don't like what you notice in your family, break that cycle and start a new pattern. Because the day's going to come when you have kids and they're going to look up to you. And if you do not want your kids to come out like whoever it is that is dysfunctional in your life, that caused you the trauma that you don't want to become like, we have to become the example before our children receives us as the example. Okay? There's never the perfect time to heal. It's never a perfect time to heal or to face the problem. So that's why I just say do it anyway. Do it anyway. Okay? And so y'all, that is it for tonight. I really hope that this could help somebody out there. I'm just being obedient, y'all. I'm not perfect. I feel like what I'm saying does not make sense sometimes. But I know somebody out there is gonna really put the two and two together and be like, I understand what Danae is saying. As badly as I want to be perfect and have this adequate sentencing, I don't. And I don't want to be. I'm not gonna force myself to be perfect. I'm just gonna show up as myself, and whoever sees it, accepts it, it's for you. Okay? And so, y'all, I love you so much. Make sure that you guys check out my website at Transformedbygrace.store, where I now am selling my ebooks. Okay, I have ebooks there, and I'm now offering one-on-one coaching sessions where we're gonna be healing you, okay? Y'all, I just now realized that the Lord has given me a healing ministry. Okay, that's my specialty now. I'm a healer. I heal you through my wisdom, through my words, through my experiences, through my testimony, and it's gonna heal you. And I'm just so blessed that I'm able to do that for you guys. Like, I love to encourage people. I love to talk to people. I love to transform people's minds because it's so many things in the world that people normalize that's not okay. And so I'm here to break that down. Okay, I'm here to break that down to help rebuild you guys from the inside out. And yeah, y'all, thank you for supporting me. Thank you for sticking around, for loving on me. Make sure that you guys comment down below. I am choosing healing over distractions. If you receive this podcast message, okay, and I'll be back again sometime soon this week. And I love you guys so much with the love of Christ. Stay blessed, stay safe, stay warm, and your sister's out. Make sure that you check my description box for ways to connect with me, my social media platforms, my website, and so much more. Oh yeah, do y'all love my nails? Y'all see that? Hold on. I got pink this time. Yeah. But anywho, bye y'all. I gotta go.